Hey everybody, hey dreamers. Today I'm going to do something completely different, and I think that like sometimes I do tutorials, sometimes I do a little bit behind the scenes stuff, but today I'm doing something completely different. Or today, or in this series that I'm going to upload on YouTube, is going to be something different. I think that I really want to show you a little bit of like how I work if I'm making a game or if I'm sculpting or if I'm doing something like that in Dreams. And I'm not sure if this is going to be a series that you all will like to see, so let me know if you want to yeah, see something more about this or not. But what my plan is like I have a plan. Yes, I know I'm already working on a big project area, and I'm not going to show you that. Sorry, but that's like a big secret. I am still working on it in the background, so I'm not going to show you that on stream. I do have sometimes, I already uploaded the first part, a little bit behind the scenes of the game area where you can see a little bit of the development and what I do and how I came up with the ideas and stuff like that. So you can already check the first part of the video. There will be a second part of that video a little bit later. But yeah, maybe it's already out if you're seeing this. But there will be more dev talk eventually along the way if I'm further in the project of Aria or the project of the game Aria. If you have seen the trailer at Media Molecule or at my own YouTube channel, you probably already know that like my game is going to be is in development for Dreams. Now that project is quite a big project that I'm doing, and I'm not doing that like in a several weeks or months. It's a really big project, so have patience for that if you're really curious and interesting and cannot wait to play the game. You have to wait a little bit longer. It's just that it's just a teaser, and that's why there's no like a release date or anything, because simply I cannot release or have something as a release date if I cannot even release it at the moment. So it's just a teaser, and if you want to find more clues or hints about the game there or lore, just check out my profile and just play a little bit of the creations that I've already released in Dreams on my profile, Jechta Plays. And most of the maybe I think like 80% of the stuff that is out there has something to do with Arya. So if you're curious about the lore, the hints, the clues that if you're interested in that, you should check that all out. It's I love stuff like that. So you can maybe put some puzzles pieces together for yourself, literally. So. In this series, I want to do something else. Me and my girlfriend had like an idea coming up with a mini game. I'm not sure like how challenging this is going to be for me personally, because like yeah, with the logics, mostly the logic part, like sculpting part, I think it will be fine. But it's probably the logic part that's going to be the most challenging part for me. But I'm going to do it, and I thought it was really such a fun idea. If you do not really know what I'm talking about, if you have read the Insider from Media Molecule in the month of like July, in August, in 2021, whenever you're seeing this video, there was like I did an interview for the Insider from Media Molecule, and I talked a little bit about food as well. So not only about my game, but also about food. So um, while I was like talking about that food and show that like also like I was writing stuff for Minimal, you know, show that to my girlfriend, and we came kind of like we were cooking some idea up, and we kind of sharing ideas to each other, and I think it's a really nice idea to do this, and I really want to make this mini game for you guys. So if you cannot wait for Aria, then I think that this is maybe a fun project in between that I will do. Yes, I know I'm already very busy with Aria, but I do have sometimes like little bit of like little projects in between, just to keep my mind a little bit off, because like if you're only working on one particular stuff, it's, especially if I'm doing basically all alone, it can be sometimes like a little bit hard to focus. I think this is like a little bit like more of like an snack in between, pun intended. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be like a mini game where you have like, if well, let me have like a little bit of backstory. The food that I'm talking about in Imp is a Dutch, like a Dutch delicious food that we often eat in the morning as breakfast. And not all Dutch people eating this though, but a lot of Dutch people eating this in the morning, because like it's quick, simple, and it's very yeah, quick food to eat in the morning, because like we don't have much time in the morning if we go to work or if we're going to appointments. Like we need something quick. So what we do is we get a slice of bread and we put some butter or not butter. It depends on the person. Not everybody likes butter on the bread, but for me, I put butter on the bread, and I will like drop some um, chocolate sprinkles on top of it, and I will fold it or place another bread on top. It depends on like on the mood, I think, or so. It really depends on how I'm going for it. But like sometimes I like yeah, something like that, putting a slice on top of it, and just eat it really quickly, and then I'm done. It's really quick. It's really quick food, but it's very delicious. It's not like it's something like very gross or anything, because I mean, chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate, right? And chocolate on bread, like some experts, I'm not sure if this is actually true though, but some experts have done some yeah, some like if they want to see like, does it affect certain behavior, because like a lot of like small kids eating this as well in the morning, and it, according to some experts, I can be wrong, but for instance, like children are a little bit more happier if they're eating chocolate on bread in the morning. So there you go. I'm not sure if this is actually true, but like I just wanted to say that. So maybe that's why I am mostly happy all the time on my streams and in these videos, because like yeah, I eat chocolate in the morning. That must be the case, right? It doesn't make any sense, I know. But like but it's really delicious food. So my idea was with this video, or with the series, is that I want to make a mini game about this food. And I thought maybe about the word hagelslag. It's a Dutch word, and that literally translated to hail battle. If you actually like translate it like literally, um, but it's basically just like a pile of like chocolate sprinkles on top of bread, and we calling that, because like it's so messy and they all like scramble and like it's all like rumble everywhere. That's why we call it hagelslag, hail battle, because like it looks like a little hail. We have also in different shapes, forms, and sizes. So what I'm going to do about this mini game, and it really depends on how hard and difficult it's going to be along the road. Maybe it's almost impossible to do to do this, but then I will probably yeah, maybe ask someone else to help with this project. But it's just like for me a side a little bit of a fun side project that I want to make. Don't think it's going to be too fancy, but I really want to keep it, of course, in my style. So it's going to be a little bit realistic looking. So I already have found a style that I want to make it in. So it's going to be realistic. And what you have to do is that like you have to avoid, like you are a chocolate sprinkle, and you have to avoid other chocolate sprinkles that is like dropping down. It's very silly, but I think it's maybe fun. At least that was my girlfriend was coming up with that idea, and I think it's a really fun idea. So, but there will be different packages, right? So because of like the different packages have different shapes and forms of the chocolate sprinkles. You have like the hill versions, like the just like the chocolate sprinkles, like it's only like with like stripes, and that's it. But we also have like more of like thicker versions, like almost like bars, basically like small bars of chocolates. There are so many different shapes we have. I think we also have curly stuff, and we also have in different colors. So what my game is going to be is that you can maybe unlock different versions of that. I'm not sure like how complex I'm going to have to be, because like logic is not the best part of my side. But yeah, that is the idea in a little bit. So before I'm going to start, I just want to have like a little bit disclaimer. I'm not sure like if I'm going to cut this video into pieces or not. Probably I will do it. Normally I never cut in my videos, because like I really want to keep it as most authentic as it is, so the people can also see the mistakes that I make, and like if I do go for a certain approach and I rethink like, nah, this is not maybe the best approach, and then I will like redo it. It happens a lot with me, and some people like cut those stuff out so they're not getting bored or anything. But in my videos, I kind of make them like mostly uncut, because like I kind of want to show the people also the mistakes that I make, and you learn from making mistakes. So I don't want to cut those mistakes, because that's the part where you learn. Um, I notice the videos then is going to be a little bit longer, but I think what I'm going to do is, because of the video is going to be longer, I will cut not the content itself, like not like in between the things that I'm sculpting, but I think I will cut like the videos into parts. So, for example, if I'm recording this now in a row for like 5 hours, for example, I'm not going to upload it for 5 hours. I'm just going to cut it in like 20 minutes and make a series out of it. I really have to see how this is going, and I'm really curious if people are also interested to see this. Okay, I'm talking too much. We're like 12 minutes in this video, so I really want to get started already. So I really want to like make that stuff. Um, it's going to be a little bit like challenging for me, because I've never really made like basically all the stuff that I do in Dreams I never did before. So, so that's that's not very hard, to be honest, because like everything is new for me. So what I'm going to do, I have some example pictures. I'm still looking up at the moment right now while I'm speaking. So I need to find. Why can I not like? You're not going to see this though on stream, but it's more for me. Okay, so I found a picture. Okay, so what I think I'm going to make first is the thicker versions of the chocolate sprinkles, because like the normal chocolate sprinkles that we have, it's so simple and easy to make, because they're just like stripes, like stripes of chocolate. That's like the easiest thing. They're sometimes a little bit like have a little bit of different sizes, like a different they have like some have curves and everything. But that's like a very easy thing to do. So I want to go for the little bit more of a challenging one, and that is like the thicker versions. Okay, and I saw that I had a new notification. Let me quickly check. I'm always curious if some shared stuff. Yeah, there was a sharing stuff event. Let me see. Okay, I will check it another time. Okay, Jechta plays. There we go, and we're going into the creations of. Oh, if you wanna like know a little bit more about Aria and stuff, go check this out. It's not been played much or seen much by many people, but if you want to know the clues about Aria the game, check Jechta's workplace or check Jechta's place, which can also lead into this one. It's all connected. Okay, let's start fresh. That was a little bit like an advertising for my own game. Okay, new element, of course, and I will try not to talk so fast anymore, because I am always very calm. There we go. Okay, so we first always, before I'm starting, I always go for the show height, and then we're going to disable the hover effect, because I always hate that. I really do not like that. I'm first going to do, I'm not going to make the level already, but I'm going to make the sculpt first, so I can use that in the level. So we have to go into modes, and then we go to scope mode. Now the thicker parts are, how can I explain this? Keep in mind, I like English is not my main language, so sometimes I can maybe still say something weird, or I do not know how to pronounce stuff. But like it's like I think if you see it then you know it. Maybe that's a better way to do it. So they're like chocolate, like thick chocolate parts, and they are a little bit curved and curly, and they are like different shapes and sizes. But I can make one and then maybe yeah, cut them in certain parts, and so we have like different versions of them. Um, how or which kind of shape are we going to make this from? That is like um, I think the best way is, or the simplest way to do this is, or maybe the curve tool. We can or maybe use the curve tool. Or we can use a no, I think that the curve tool would be the best choice to do this. So I'm going for, normally I always go for like grid snap, but I don't think, yeah, we can do it still. Um let's do it still. Normally I don't do this though. Right, so let's do it like this. And then I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to delete this thing here because we don't need that. I'm going to scope into the sculpt and then clone this. But now I don't really need the grid snap anymore because like this is completely freestyling. So I'm going to clone this as much as possible. I'm not sure if this is maybe let me see, maybe we can do a little bit of blending to save us a little bit of like I'm not sure if that works now. Does it work? I don't think that works. Because we start, I don't think, yeah, that maybe works. No, because like we didn't start with this one. Okay. No, it already goes perfectly. This is what I mean. Like normally, like you normally like a person would like cut this out, but I'm let it just like stay in the video. So I'm just going to remake this, and now we not have to forget to do the subblend already, because like if you're like placing the first one and you're not doing the subblend, then you're basically screwed. So we have to stamp this in place, and now we can see. Now we can like clone this, and now it's like already subblend. And the reason why I'm using subblend because like then I don't need as much clones in between, right? That is basically why I'm doing it. Just save a little bit of like the cloning. Because like Dreams does have a limitation of the clones that you can make. So that's why. So I'm going to get rid of the grid, but I think I'm going to use the precise tool still for this and see how this goes. So we're going to clone this. There we go. We can first go a little bit like, we can already maybe make a curve. So, and since it's, one sec, I need to, like it's a very small little piece, so we need to, a little bit further. Like so. I'm not sure like how much we can use, but maybe let me see. Don't mind the graphics at the moment because that's of course that's rising up. Okay, let me do something else real quick. I need a puppet. Just for the size because like the size is not going to be this. it's very small. It's even smaller. So what I can like to see. Wait, I was not inside the. There we go. I think maybe what I need to do is a little bit more subblend. Um, I'm not sure, but I would say so. I would say that we need more subblend for this. That's what I believe. And of course, like, okay, this, like you can see here a line, right? But that's fine. Like we're going to make this smaller eventually, and downscale the quality because it's getting so small. So you're not going to see all those quality happening. So now I'm going to a little bit like off because that's what I do always. And make a good. Let me see. Something like that, and then now we can go a little bit off and oh, we need to do it like this. So and then just like shape it in shape the form. This is like the type of like chocolate sprinkles that I like the most because these are having a little bit better volume and you don't need you have less mass on your plates because like you also have like the tiny ones, but they're so messy if you're eating them. The graphics is probably like really rising a lot, but this is kind of like how they look. I think I'm only doing a little bit like he can go away for now. I think I'm going to place them or make them a little bit longer. I hope I can still make him a little bit like. There we go. And just to make it a little bit more believable. Oh wait, let me remove the precise move for this because like they never are that like really good looking stuff. So you have to like this one goes a little bit up, for example, and then it goes here. It goes a little bit down. Something like this. Something like this. Okay. So now the graphics are rising, right? But this is very large piece, so we have to, of course, downscale this a lot till 1%. There we go. And now I need to have what is a good one to do? Um, like I think we can have a puppet for now. There we go. Puppet a little bit higher because the normal size is always a little bit wrong, and then we can go make this a little bit smaller. I'm probably going to make them in the game a little bit like higher again because it will be easier to make the game. So it's probably not going to be real sized for the sake of it because it will be very hard to get certain quality and um, where is it? Okay. To get certain quality in the thing here. So yeah, this looks okay. Now we need to color them basically, and so we go into spray paint, and then we going the base color. Brown, of course. Um, and then we have to like layer the color a little bit. So this is going to be the base layer. And then simply we need this one here. And then we need to do surface snap. And then we're going to for subblend. Not that much. And I'm going to tweak. I don't want to have it like a dot or anything. And opacity, we're going to do it as like as low as possible. Maybe a little bit higher though. Okay. And I'm just going to spin this around with my touchpad. Let me see. Then we're going to paint it over. To make it more chocolate kind of feeling. So if you want to make like chocolate looking stuff, this is also like this is like a tutorial in one. Basically, because like yeah, it will also show you of course how to make your own chocolate stuff. Again, I've never made chocolate in Dreams or outside of Dreams before, so this is very new for me. But the way how am I always doing it Dreams is just like I look at like the product or like the like an example picture, and I'm just like looking at okay how is the structure looking on that object, right? Like how, what is it made of? What colors does it have? And then I'm just like using a little bit of my own imagination how I would approach it, and that is often the best way to do it. Now I know I'm not the best. I think I'm not the best sculptor in the world. Definitely not. But it's this is a way to do it. Just yeah, look at the example pictures and see how they are made of, and um, yeah, that's how I do it. So we're going to like do it a little bit more subblend now, because not all parts, and a little bit more opacity and more subblend. And I'm going to spin it, then going again on the structure of because like chocolate doesn't have like one particular especially if it's like a milk project, milk chocolate, and I do have milk chocolate. It's not like pure, so this is not going to be pure chocolate, because that's like darker brown, and this is like still a little bit of milk brown. So it's still going to be a lot lighter. And like once we have like a little bit of the painting like done and everything, we can go a little bit further with the sculpts to make it more believable. Like that's something like what you can do. Like maybe with like little holes in it or stuff like that. That's often how you make it more believable and realistic. Even though like those pieces are always pretty much clean cut because they are made. I think that's like an out. They come out of a machine. I'm not really sure how they're made. I think that like how I would assume they're like out of machine and they like having like certain curling going on and then and once it's like it's because like it's made out of warm like heat and stuff. And then once like dry up, it stays in this form, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is actually stuff that we eat. uh, so I'm just going to do a little bit like random. I don't want it to overdo it. I don't want to make it like too obvious. Because overdoing the textures is always a bad thing to do. Like the inside here is a little bit like trickier, but you're not going to see this that like you're not going to really see it. I think so. I can just like do randomly do this, and that's fine, I guess. Okay, so what we can do next is we can cut the we can cut it a little bit here and there, just to just make it a little bit more believable that it's actually made out of this stuff, like or like made out of and made out of chocolate, of course. So I'm going to cut it. So like the cuttings are not like and maybe you can change it to a little bit darker brown as well. And again, like be careful with like not overdoing this much. But like if you're doing, you just like just like go for the most natural way to do this. Um, I'm not going to do the service nav for this. Sometimes that can go wrong. So I'm just doing it manually. But just make the form a little bit like so it's like it's not that perfectly shaped and looking. Like like so. There we go. And we're of course not done yet. We have to do the whole thing. And this is only for one chocolate bar. This is only for one thing. But just like do it like if you're making if you want to make this yourself or want to make like a chocolate piece or anything, just look at the structure. Like if you're making like a chocolate bar, which has like a different structure, of course, than this one. But just look at it. Like look at how like the structure is, and look at what kind it's like what is on the surface, right? Like how is it made, and I know that this shape that like we eat on our bread is almost perfect. There's not really much going on the sides, but I think that like if you do it this still a little bit here and there, like it gives a little bit more realism to it. Um, because that's often how 3D works. Like if you make an object too perfectly how it is in real life, sometimes it can look a little bit off because it's three-dimensional. So the way how to avoid that kind of like stuff is just like make it a little bit less like less sharp, or like that's the best way to avoid like really weird looking realism. Um, it's a mistake that often like a lot of people make, even me. But like if you go for too realism, it will look really weird. There are like good examples in movies happening like that. If you make it too 3D, like too 3D, how you think you will see it in real life, it becomes very ugly because like it's too much of 3D. I think like a good example is the movie King Kong, which was it was really fun movie and it was a really good looking movie, but the 3D part was a little bit over the top, and because like it was too 3D, which makes the whole movie it looks a little bit of like, yeah, okay, that's like a little bit too much. So be careful with if you're going for realism, because that's often a mistake that people make, that they think that they're going for the most realistic look, and then it doesn't really match their expectations. But I'm making mistake myself all the time as well, so I'm not really a good example myself for this. So we're almost done. And at least with the shape, and then we're going for the right color and the right uh, the right like reflections and stuff like that. But we're almost done, and I think that like it doesn't have to be too realistic. I mean, like you're not going to see this from that close. Maybe in the main menu you will see it a little bit from closer, but I don't think I'm going to make it that you're going to see this from that close. But I think I'm done. Yeah. I don't see anything. The only thing what I still need to do is the other side. Like this side is still not painted, so I will do that, of course, because like it's yeah, it turns around and twists around. Um, but before we do that, like I'm just going to copy this, or I can also flip it. Sim, it's fast. You can also do it like that. Okay, so spray paint again, and then this color, which is fine. Then we need the surface snap again, and all we did was like make the not the whole sub blend a little bit halfway, and that is fine. And then we can like do the same technique that we were doing on this side as well. And let me see if it's needs a little bit more opacity. Oh, this one here. Because it needs to look like chocolate at all sides. Okay, that was a little bit too obvious. I think maybe softer in the opacity. And it might be a little bit like the boring part of this, but it will eventually pay. It will eventually pay off when you have done this. Going for a little bit more subblend, and then a little bit less opacity. Because I don't want to have that the structure is all the same everywhere. Also be careful not to paint too long on the surface because it will eventually also add up graphics and stuff like that. Um, and I think I'm already at 2%. But it really depends on like how the game is going to be in total with the graphics and stuff like that. So I really need to see how this goes. All right. And now we can all do like put the subblend a little bit higher, and now we can just like smear a little bit in the middle parts and blend the rest of the chocolate with the dots that we just made. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And now we have like a piece of chocolate. And we don't have like the right reflection still. So we're going into the options of the sculpture. And there are like a few things that you can do. For what I'm going to do is I will like try to see what kind of lighting I'm going to use. So I will not going to use the standard lighting in Dreams itself. I'm actually going to use a sun skybox in this one, and then I'm going to simulate how I think I'm going to do the like the level itself. So this is kind of like how I think the game is going to be eventually with the lightning and stuff. Not really, but like gives me a little bit more of like, okay, how is the lightning bouncing on the sculpt and stuff like that. So definitely we need to work around. Now chocolate, like you can like chocolate is a little bit of like have a reflection, but not that much. So like it's a little bit of like I would say 45%. Um, I think that is okay. It has a little bit of reflection. And we can go for like waxiness a little bit, but not too much. I think 15 waxiness would be okay. For this as well. I think I'm not sure. Maybe we should go. Oh, I don't know why I'm always going that. Maybe less reflection. Maybe 70%. Yeah, that looks more like chocolate, I think. But just play a little bit around for yourself. Like if you're curious, like how it looks for you, and how it suits best. I'm also going to put great effects in this scene, and just for not this one, just to see a little bit with like certain colors. Um, like so. This is just like for me a little bit of testing out how it looks, and I think it's all right. Um, yeah, I think it's all right. I'm not really sure like if we maybe 55% because it needs to have a bounce a little bit in the reflection, but not too much. Not really too much, but it seems okay. Yeah, definitely okay. Okay. Then we have our first chocolate piece. Um, we can basically like use this one, and because like sometimes what happens is that it breaks up. So all we need to do is then cut out or crop. No, we can say cut out, and like sometimes like the thing's breaking, and or not sometimes they always break. um, See, it's always what? It's really hard to see where I am now. What? Why is it not showing? Okay, this is particular up. Okay. What is happening here? Oh, okay. Now it works. That was really weird. That was really weird. Okay, so now we have to like. So what you can do. This is really cool. I really love this about dreams. We can basically now cut like pieces like this, right? Because that this happens, like it's not always like it looks nice and clean and everything like that. So, so yeah, this we maybe see if we can get rid of the top a little bit. This is really like fun. This is for me. This is so fun to do. Like, see if I can do this though. I'm picking the other one. I can do it like this as well. And then maybe like cut the rest out. Delete this. Oh. Every time I think I have it, and then still, it's there still stays a piece of it. There we go. So yeah, this is really like the fun part, like to do, right? So we have here like the base thing here, and you can cut that one completely down and have like different pieces happening, like this here. Just to make it a little bit more, we don't need this one. Just to make it a little bit more realistic. We don't need this one. But we can use this. There we go. And then we can like fill, like do another one here. But yeah, just like play a little bit around with this cutting technique, because like this will basically make your make it more believable. Like things breaking down when you're like having a package going on. I think I'm maybe going to make one more, just for a different size. The thing is that I really wish you could do in Dreams is just like resize the sculpt. So like stretch them. That would be so cool if you could do that. I kind of miss that. Miss that a little bit. Like if you have something like this, but I want to stretch it out. Yeah, you cannot. But that would be really cool if you could do that. But maybe we can like do like this, like having that sort of piece happening here. So it already looks a little bit like unique and everything. But that's how I do it, and it's really fun actually. Um, the thing is with with cutting, it will rise up your graphics because like it makes every time an unique, new, unique asset. So be careful with like using this. Don't use this too often because like it will make it a little bit harder eventually for yourself because yeah, because of wow, I'm every time I'm turning it. Oh, come on. I always get confused about how the turning works. Sometimes like you have to use the right stick, and then other times you have to use the left stick to turn in the proper way. But now that you have like made a few different types, we can clone this and make it look like it's there you go. So that is basically how it is. That's how you should make chocolate sprinkles. And we also have like white versions. So what we can do is copy this one here and do it like this. That's maybe a little bit too white. Should go a little bit too milky. Uh, yeah, let's group them up. And that's how we eat that. That's basically how we eat it. It's like it's very simple, and but this is like the actually chocolate that we eat. Yeah, there we go. Just trying to like randomizing a little bit. And I think that maybe what a good way to do this is to get it actually a little bit more randomized. If we make a plate, for example, so let's do the grid one. So if you're going to make a plate, like so. I'm not going to use this plate for this equation, but this is just to get them randomized a little bit. So I'm going to say this is movable, and oh, this is also movable. So now there are oh. But that's like how you can do it, like having a little bit of a mixture. Maybe I need a bigger plate. Sometimes they're like falling through it. That's I think it's because like um is it because of like the quality or like the physics that we are is it because of physics cost? we'll add like 3% more. Let me see. This is -2. Okay, that's because like so if we play this now. I still want to go through. Yeah, they do. I think it's because yeah, they do. Maybe it's also because like the this one here. Like doesn't. I think maybe the pieces are too small. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know what happened here. Like it's like it. I think it's like I'm gonna hold the controller. I'm just trying to like randomize them a little bit. Oh no 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 no! It went so well. Come on, Jechta, you can do this. This is. Oh! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! This is something. This is more like it. They're like, but I can do better. I know I can do better. It's just. Catch them all, catch them all. I don't know why he's like he's so sensitive. Like, oh, don't you dare to do that. Like, okay, maybe I need another technique for this. I do not really know like what is the best technique for this. Maybe emitters or just having like a pipe that is like there like rolling out or anything. Uh. Okay. The thing is that like if you rewind the scene, of course they go back again. But no, we can of course make it unmovable again after. So I think that will work as well. Let's mix up a little bit. I don't know what's happening here. Like, like if I move my controller, like sometimes like he does want to like flip the asset like this, like which is fine. Okay, pause the scene. Now it's a little bit like this, like it's all randomized a little bit. There are a little bit pieces scattered like here, but we can like move that back to a little bit closer. I kind of want to have like it's randomized a little bit better. There we go. And all we have to do now is make them not movable anymore. Oh. There we go. Oh, they're still going to the back to the original state? Really? Okay, then it's not okay. Then it's really not like how how I had in mind. I really thought that if you go like doing it and back into okay, something I learned something today. Fine. Okay. No problem. No problem. We can always do this in the game itself eventually. Um so that's totally fine. I don't mind. But yeah, this is like how to make chocolate. Well, chocolate sprinkles that we use on Dutch bread. So, like we eat it like on. Let me see if I have it somewhere. Maybe I should not scroll that much because like, I want to have spoilers for you guys. Brat. There. Even though this is not the best version of my Brat at the moment. But we ate it like this. This is what you would see on a Dutch breakfast. It's this stuff here, and then the slate like here. A little bit more scattered around, but you will get the idea. So that's how it is. You can definitely tell that the bread is not really well in this asset, but that's how it is. So I'm just going to save this one. There we go. Save it as an element, and then sculpture. Don't know what I'm going to call this. It's chocolate. Chocolate. So what is it in here? Chocolate. It is chocolate sprinkles, but we call it differently. What name can we give? Chocolate. How can I say this? Chocolate. Let me find a good name for this. Maybe chocolate flakes, because like we call it like a little bit like that. So chocolate flakes. I think that is a good translation. I'm not sure if like this is like something that like it already exists. I don't know. But this is how we call it basically in Holland, in the Netherlands. So there you go. It's not like cornflakes, but like it's like chocolate flakes. So here we go. Here we have chocolate flakes. And I think that's like maybe a good stop, a good ending for this first episode of my chocolate sprinkle game that I'm planning to make. And yes, this is like 8% graphics, which is way too much. But I will see how I'm going to make that in the video game or in a video game in Dreams. So yeah, the scope itself is pretty big. So and since I don't really need much other graphics happening around except for maybe the level itself. So I think maybe 8 is fine for this in this case, but otherwise I think I'm going to like downscale it eventually if we're going to make it smaller object. But for now, I think I'm happy with it. So thank you so much for watching for the first episode of, I don't know how I'm going to call this, but this is the first episode of the Chocolate Sprinkles mini game that I'm going to release in Dreams. Just a little bit of a snack before I'm actually going to release Aria eventually. So I really want to have this made. And yeah, I want to show that along the road, like how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to make this stuff in a series. I will show from the beginning till the end, so you will see all the stuff happening. So you see the sculpting, you will see the game building itself, the world design eventually, and the logics. This is going to be very fun. So yeah, thank you so much for, if you have made it till this far in the video, you are really a champ. If you have learned something today as well, just let me know in the comments, and I will always read them. So yeah, let me know if you think this is a really nice idea or not. So let that all know, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye everybody, and don't forget to dream.